Welcome, friends and family. So excited to be here with you today from our Elevate studio. And just a reminder, Elevate is a faith-led coaching and mentorship program with an emphasis on leadership. And one of the ways that we really enjoy leadership is we love learning from others. And today I've brought in one of our finest and newest team members, a good friend of mine, longtime friend, Mr. Joseph Looker. Joseph, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Good, man, good. We're so glad you're here with us today, Joe. And Joe, I know you've come from a long line of being in leadership and management roles. Mm-hmm. Like I know when me and you first met, I think you were manager at McDonald's.
Yep.
And then at Chick-fil-A,
mm-hmm.
and then at Workout Anytime.
Right.
So Joe, how many people would you estimate that you have hired or led over the course of those years?
Oh, Lord. Hundreds upon hundreds. Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I was managing restaurants, I'd have over 100 people on staff serving, working for me. And then I was primarily in charge during most of my career, orientations, hiring, training and developing. So, yeah, a lot of people, I was blessed to be in contact with and kind of leave a fingerprint on.
Awesome, man. So, Joe, just kind of like with that train of thought, in your opinion, what has that taught you about leadership? Like what being in those positions of leadership, and I'm sure being under leaders too. Mm-hmm. What has that taught you about leadership?
Just stay humble. I mean, you can learn from so many people, regardless of their age, their experience, what their position or title was. Some of the best leaders were people that weren't even necessarily leading and didn't have a certain title, but you can just tell from their character that that's the kind of person they were. Oh, wow. I would always say stay humble, stay modest, keep your mind open, and not walk around like you've got it all together, that you know everything, because you don't. You can always learn regardless of where you're at in life or in your career.
Yeah, that's great, man. So you've overseen hundreds, you've hired. How many people would you say you've actually hired in your professions?
That I've actually hired, I mean, it's in the hundreds.
Yeah,
for sure. In restaurant management, and even when I went into the health and fitness industry, a little smaller crew, a little more tight-knit group. And, turnover, sadly and unfortunately is a thing, but some people, they don't decide to do that as a career, or it's not long-term for them. It's just a job to hold them up through college while they pursue their degree and that sort of thing. But you always want to make it as welcoming and fun environment as possible in hopes that they will stick around, because the longer they do, the better they're at their job and the more of an asset they are to you and the team.
Why do you think you got picked for those leadership and management roles?
I just love learning and I love helping people, and that was kind of my whole mindset, is to keep an open mind and just be malleable and receptive to feedback, and just realize that, again, you don't always have it together. You can always learn more. You can always be better. And that was always a goal of mine. It's just what can I learn from this experience, and how can I better myself? Yeah.
So good, man. So good. So again, Mr. Joe, from your experience, what really separates the average team member or employee or staff, whatever you want to call?
Yeah.
What separates the average from the really, really great ones?
I think the really great ones are people, again, they're malleable, they're receptive to feedback, they have an open mind, and that are self-sufficient, right? Because anyone could be a yes sir, yes ma'am kind of person. I think the best people are the ones that are like, hey, I've got this idea. Have we ever tried this before, right? Because that's how new standards are created. That's how new systems are created. Is someone's got this idea and say, hey, let's give it a go. Let's try it out. And when they do, and you see the success from that, all of a sudden that becomes the new standard. So I think no matter what kind of industry you're in, every industry needs people like that are kind of innovative. Like, hey, I've got this idea, let's give it a go. And you'll see those people, all kinds of doors open up for them, all kinds of opportunities present themselves to them.
So you like to work with people that are kind of creative.
Yes.
Like they might see not necessarily a row or rut. Right. And the funny thing is that, McDonald's has kind of got, in my mind, their coin for basically being, we've seen the movie The Founder.
Yep.
I mean, these guys made it as efficient as it possibly could.
Right.
And you would hear people like Henry Ford would say, man, the problem is that I hired people for their hands and they always want to give me their brains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that was like the past, right? Like going to the
Right.
future, we're a lot more innovative as a new generation.
Right. Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, so I mean, you're over halftime. You
Yep.
know, usually about that age 40, everything past that, you're now you're over halftime.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a lot. You've experienced a lot, and you're saying now that you enjoy working with the ones that are a little more. They're thinking for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Some of the best team members can be some of the best leaders, and some of the people that are put in positions of authority are sometimes better employees rather than leaders, right?
Yeah.
Again, you can have all kinds of certifications, degrees, titles, but at the end of the day, that's not what makes you a leader. You know, what makes you a leader is, are they willing to follow you?
Yeah.
Do you conduct yourself in a way and present yourself in a way that people would want to follow you where you go,
Yeah.
and get behind what you're about and what you're saying?
Everybody's a little upset right now. Not everybody, but you know, anybody that wants to kind of be disappointed in Trump right now, they're a little upset that he's went through a couple generals. You know,
Yeah.
he's went through 4 or 5. But I think to myself, when you're looking for a good general, you might have to go through 4 or 5 or 15 before you find one that's actually going to be able to not just run your program, but take the ground that needs to be taken.
Right.
You think about Abraham Lincoln. You know, he had to go through the guys that came from West Point, the biggest, the smartest, the best, that were supposed to be able to lead, but they'd get up to where it was time to attack, and they wanted to overthink it, be so strategic in their approach that they failed to attack. It really disheartened Abraham Lincoln. He was very much a gentleman about it. But finally, he found an old Cub cadet that was basically an alcoholic, mean as fire, but buddy, you put him on that war ground, he took ground. So not necessarily the one you would have thought. I look at the Bible, Joe, I think about King David, right?
Yeah.
Like out of all of them, he lines up all the brothers. And
Yep.
he's like, man, surely you got one more. And they're like, yeah, but he's out there in the field herding the sheep. Okay, well, that's the one I need to talk to.
Yep.
And he brings him in. He said, man, God doesn't look at the outward. He looks at here.
Mm-hmm.
So really finding a good leader or even a good team member, a lot of times it's a lot more, and I love what you're saying, it's not about a title.
Yeah.
It's about a heart and an attitude.
Absolutely.
You got to have that heart to carry and that attitude to get the job done. And a lot of folks are lacking that nowadays.
Sadly, they are. You know, you got to be able to take constructive criticism and feedback, right? Like, hey, I realize that I'm not perfect, that I have areas of opportunity. How can I get better? And I feel like those folks with that kind of mindset are the ones that are just going to blow the roof off the place when you give them a little space to do their thing.
Well, dude, that probably answers my next question, Joe. When you're a fitness coach, you're a nutritionist, you have a degree in fitness coaching and nutrition, right?
Yeah, certifications. Yeah.
So when you work with people that, so you've had people come to you and say, hey, Joe, I want to get in good shape. Out of all those people, which ones would you say really is the ideal client? Like the ideal, like, man, this person I know when we get together, they're the golden clay. They're gonna.
Yep.
Yeah. What do those people look like?
Well, sadly, that number seems relatively low, and even to this day, and it's because you got to always be mindful of the fact that you get what you put into it. Nothing worth having comes easy.
Oh, that's so good.
And if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you, right?
If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you.
Yes.
Wow.
And so those folks that were always shooting me straight, right? They were honest. Hey, by the way, I dropped the ball here, or I missed that workout. At least they're being honest with me, so I can give them the kind of feedback needed for them to get to that next step. But if they're not going to be honest with me, it makes my job very difficult, and makes it very difficult for them to obtain the results that they're shooting for.
Mr. Joe, can I stop you just right
Yeah,
there for a second?
yeah, absolutely.
What do you think stops people from being honest?
It could boil down to a lot of different things, whether it be conviction, whether it be shame, or it could be a pride issue, right?
Pride.
They don't want to admit that they made a mistake, that they're wrong. But I'm telling you, that could be a hindrance in so many areas of your life if you don't let that go.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. The Bible tells us, right, before a fall is pride, before honor is humility.
Absolutely.
So if you're being honest, and some of that could be fair, right? Like some people may be scared that their coach is going to beat them up. But if you're their coach and I know you for many years now, you're very encouraging.
Yeah, man, you want to, and that's biblical too, but you want to speak life into someone, right? My goal isn't to, verbally beat somebody up, but you also have to have those tough conversations. You can't sugarcoat it. And a lot of times people come to me.
Fine line.
Yeah. People come to me. Sometimes they hit rock bottom, right? Like this, like, hey, man, I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror anymore. I can't stand where I'm at. I need help. And a lot of times when you hit rock bottom and you're coming to a place of desperation, then you're willing to do whatever it takes to pull yourself out of that hole that you probably dug yourself in. You know. And when you see those changes take place and you feel better and you look better, because it's not even about physical, it's about your mental health too. For a lot of folks, it was just working off that stress and not keeping that in, whether it's taking out on the weights, which is so much better than taking it out on the people you love and care about around you, right? But they say if you look good, you feel good. You know?
And if you feel good, you play good, and if you play good, they pay good.
Yeah, absolutely. Covers so many, checks off so many boxes.
That was a book my friend Lucas McCoy recommended I read by Deion Sanders, Elevate and Dominate, but that's what he said. So that there's a lot of truth to that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's really good, man. So honesty gets to be something that really helps people, and being able to take constructive feedback and not take it personal.
Right.
That's what's going to really separate the good from the great, or the average from the great. In fact, I would even go as far as say the great is almost looking for they don't want you to be negative with them, but they don't want you to sugarcoat it all the time.
Right.
They're like, really, just Joe, give me the truth. What can I do to get to that next level?
Right. There's a fine line. There's a balance, and you normally go into those conversations like, "Hey, you're probably not going to like what I'm about to tell you, but you need to hear this." And then what you do with that information is entirely up to you. The ball's in your court, and what you do with it's entirely up to you. But they've got to make a decision for themselves if they want to get better or if they want to stay where they're at. But staying where they're at is what brought them to me in the first place.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people, man, that's how many people even go and admit they need help. First off, a lot of people are scared to put their hands up because they think they can do it by themselves or without help, but that's how they got where they're at. And the truth is that the sooner you can put your hand up and say, man, I could use a little help, and you really get a good person to help you, man, it can be a whole new world for those folks.
Right. And what are you saying? Is it you can go further?
Yeah. You can go fast. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, man, I love that. Love that about you, man. So, Joe, what attracted you to real estate? Like, how come real estate?
Well, I had a sales background from working in the health and fitness industry, and I've seen a great degree of success there, and a lot of family and close people that are close to me told me I had the gift of gab. So really early on in my relationship with my now wife, she was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about real estate?" And then her father, who's a very, very successful, very intelligent and wise businessman, was like, "Hey, has Joseph ever thought about getting into real estate?" And so it just seemed like kind of God was just pointing me in that direction. Like, you and I have been friends for 15 years, something like that.
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time, man.
And you've kind of hit me up a few times about opportunities that, sadly, I was just very comfortable where I was at. And he was just afraid of change, because who isn't, right? Changes can be scary.
Well, and you were good in your lane. You were good in fitness. You were good in leadership at roles. So, you had a natural talent there, and I could see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so, a lot of changes were happening with my current employer's company, and just didn't line up with my values. And, and I just figured it was time for change. And that this, I felt, was a way to open up so many more doors for me to have a little bit more freedom to spend time with my family, and to also better financially provide for them. But most importantly, it allows me to be a blessing to other people and to help other people out. And that was my motivation in the health and fitness industry, was help changing people's lives through health and fitness and knowledge. And it's no different here. It's I'm still in a position where I can bless people, which is my main focus. It's what drives me, what keeps me waking up every morning, and allows me to lay my head down at night and just feeling good about what I do.
That's great, man. So your faith has really gave you that ability to take that approach to look not what people can do for you, but how you can be a blessing to them.
Right. And I think, I know that God repays that in kind. And of course, if he be for you, who can be against you?
That's
Yes.
right. That's right, man. And you've shared with me, that you've married an amazing lady.
Absolutely.
She's very supportive. And I think anybody that goes into a sales career, especially when you're married and you have a family, that support's got to be there. Because without it, it's going to be really hard because, Joe, you're fixing to start your own business. It's going to be Joe Inc. partnering with Elevate. And like you say, Elevate's got a track record for success. We know how to take people, just like you would in the coaching program, to take them from, 300 pounds to 215 pounds. And we can do that. And we can fast track that process. But you've got to be humble, hungry, and smart enough to be able to get in here and work that program. And I know you are. And I know what you signed up for isn't easy. It's a hard climb, and I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
I love your wife. I don't know her near as well as I do you, but I know this, that Duke Davis had invited us to come see Poppy perform, and it was probably one of the first times I really became aware of your wife. I've been to events that she's hosted a long time, for years, but I never, man, the boldness that she had to stand on that platform, to lead those girls and dance, and then do it all for the glory of the Lord.
Yes.
And to be bold and have a voice for the Lord like she does, that is inspiring. And, that's what we really want right here at Elevate Real Estate too. We really want it to be a platform that we use more as ministry, more as an opportunity to pour into and give back, pour into leaders and give that back to our community. It's a blessing to be able to get up and do what I love every day with the people I love. Thank you, Joe, for being here. I believe you're going to add a lot of value to a lot of people. And folks, if you are thinking of buying real estate, this is something that you're interested in, just give Joe a call here. Call us here at Elevate, 931-283-2312. Ask for the legend, Joseph Looker, and he's going to take good care of you.
Absolutely.
And guys, we're excited about what the future holds for all of us here at Elevate Real Estate. If we can ever do anything for you or any of your friends, any of your family, don't hesitate. Give us a call, 931-283-2312. Thank you.